Hey everyone, welcome to Rebel Speed Shop. I'm Peyton, this is DB, and I think we have a really good video for you today.
So, what are you and Pops up to today?
Yeah, so super cool. We just got some new tires in for the front engine dragster. Super cool, finally replacing the 60-year-old ones. Something kind of weird for the wheels of the front engine dragster though. They are from a 1950s Harley, so they're actually spoked, just like you would find like a spoked bicycle. I don't know how to respoke wheels, but Pops does. So let's go over to Pops and see kind of what we have to work on today.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to take the Schrader valve out of the tube so that we can get the tire off of this. So there's a process you have to go through with these tire spoons, and hopefully this 60-year-old tire will come off without having to cut it off. Sometimes you have to do that, but usually these are not too bad, so we'll see how it goes. These tires are so dry rotted that they're really dangerous to even be doing anything, rolling it around the shop and everything on. But you got to do what you got to do. It's taken me over 2 years to find the tire, and I had to get it out of Spain. Okay, there we go. That's good. That came off. And it took almost 2 months to get the tire in from Spain. They had to pass through U.S. Customs and get that done, but they finally came in, so hopefully this is going to work out. And these little plastic things here so that you really don't mess up the rim. It's a little bit too much, which actually I've never used these before, but they work pretty good. So we're halfway home free on this. We're actually getting the cars ready because it looks like we'll be at the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis Raceway Park on Labor Day weekend. So with both cars, and that'll be really exciting to take this car there. The other car's been there. The little blue car's been there to the U.S. Nationals, but this one never has. So that tube was in the bead. That's so dangerous.
That is crazy. Yeah, look at how it's pinched.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's been like that?
It's 50, 60 years.
Jeez. Like since they put the wheel back, or the tire back on, right? Jeez. It's a good thing we got that off. That is so dangerous.
Yeah, we'll hang that on the wall.
Yeah. So did you get new tubes for it as well?
I did. It's got all new.
All new everything? Perfect.
Yeah.
It's wild. It does look just like leather. Jeez. So that spoke is completely off.
Yep. Got the spoke out. So now
Let me show you guys this this metal wrapping they had holding the spoke together. This was all that was holding that wheel from going out of line. It's crazy. It's a little piece of malleable metal. Insane. So how is it that you re-spoke a wheel? I've never done it. I've never had to do it in my life.
you have to you'd have to take every spoke out, and then you put it on a machine and put them all in there. There's a whole process behind it.
So do we have that machine?
No, we're just doing it by eye.
Oh, okay.
It's just as easy.
Sure.
Those spokes I ordered special out of California.
Out of California, okay.
Yeah, the company's name is given a little Buchanan Spoke and Rim. You can say that.
Buchanan Spoke and Rim.
Yeah.
Interesting.
California, and they were really good about, because this is real odd, and so they spent about 30 minutes on the phone with me, you know, figuring out
Exactly what it needed to be.
yeah, exactly what it needed to be.
That's awesome. So this just goes, what's the point of this? It just goes over this
That
to protect
protects
the
the
tube?
tube from these.
Sure. Ooh. Smells like new rubber.
Yeah,
And so it's just a thick piece of rubber, basically?
yeah, it's a lot thicker than that.
Oh yeah, and it's a lot wider too.
Yeah, let's see if it's going to go on there and be okay. This just protects the tube, the inner tube, from all the
Spoke ends and
spokes
metal.
and stuff. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, so what do we need? Do we need the new tire?
Tube first.
Tube first. That makes sense.
Tell you what, is there what's it called? I'll get it.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the pad thing?
Scuffing pads.
Scuffing pad.
Yeah, just to clean this.
I gotcha.
Probably should have done that before that.
You want to take that back off?
Nah, it's okay.
So, Pops, what experience do you have with respoking and retiring, bike wheels?
So I used to race mountain bikes back in the day. In fact, they're hanging in the back there,
Sure.
hardtail. And then I actually rode a lot of road bikes in California when we lived out there, and able to do pretty good with that, although didn't like the hills so much.
Right.
But when I was riding, I got to ride with an Olympic rider for a couple times, and she was really, really good, and couldn't keep up with her.
Right.
Her name was Sarah Hammer, I think was her name.
Okay.
And so anyway, came back here to Tennessee, and I don't ride
Right.
anymore. So I used to have to, when I was riding bikes, you have to change these tires on the trail when you're mountain bike riding, because you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you get a flat because you run over something. So we don't want to make this look too good, because we're really not trying to, make it like a show car per se. We want it to kind of look like it did back in the day in the 60s, because I mean, we've got most of the stuff is just like it was in the 60s. There's a few things that of course you can't, because they're not available anymore, like of course the tires. These tires, like I said earlier, came from Spain, and they're for a vintage BSA motorcycle, and so we had to get those, and the rear tires are new too, and then a few other odds and ends like that. But generally it's built just like it was back in the 60s, which is what we were trying to replicate, so people could see what a car looked like in the 60s, kind of like the little blue car behind us. So now the other wheel, we're going to have to do a little work on it.
Are we? What do we have to do on that?
Because it's got a little bit of a bend in it, so we're going to have to heat it a little bit and tap it back into place.
So what are we doing here? We're putting some soapy water on it to see where any bubbles, if there's any leak.
No, Dawn. This is Dawn to make it slip over easier. It's slippery.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
on.
and let's check our tube.
Okay.
Where's our tube at? So we let it get out. So we need to push that tube. But we need to push it up so we can put a
Oh, well, the
put the
grommet and
just
the
put
washer.
not don't put the grommet on it.
Just the one of the washers. Cool.
So now that won't move at
Yep.
all. That,
Time to soak up the other side to get it on.
hopefully. Now, this is the tricky part because where's
Get
the
the first one.
no, you don't want to pinch the
The tube.
yeah.
Just like that one was.
Yeah.
So I know in a lot of other tires, there's like a steel cable ring around the edges of it.
This has that too.
Does this also have? Okay.
That's what we're trying to
Fight against.
break over.
That's
is
what I
the,
was
is
wondering.
the is this the
The steel tube with or wire within it.
we need to try to get these into the middle if we can.
Oh, so it's more space. So
Yeah, we might be able to do it like this. Here we go. Okay, let's do this. We need to,
let some of the air out.
yeah. Squeeze that down if you can. Now let's see if we can. We need to move this. See how this is moved to the inside like
Now,
this?
okay.
See this?
Yep.
Because we're fighting against.
Those two things.
So if that's on the inside, put yours back in here.
There you go.
Good job. Way to go.
Nice.
Now, what we have to do is when we look at it here, we check to make sure that there's no tube here.
Yeah, this side's good. Doesn't have any tire in it.
Okay, now where's the rim tape messed up? Right here.
Yeah, right there.
So now,
It's the grommet and the two nuts. What do we need?
we need a air gauge. It's supposed to be 40 psi.
40 psi. That seems really high for that, but I guess that's not really a lot of air. That's a little bit wobbly.
Which way?
Well, it's doing this.
A little bit. I'm not going to adjust it right now. We'll get this other one done.
Sure. All right, so we're all done putting the new tires on the dragster. We noticed while we were coming back from the Wally Parks Nostalgia Nationals that it was the trailer was bouncing for the front engine dragster a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to go through and we're going to weld a reinforcement bar underneath the front ends of the trailer. That way it doesn't bounce as much on the highway. All right, so we've got it schematically laid out now. This is before we've made any holes, made any cuts or anything like that. We have everything laid out how we want to. So as you can see, we have a bit of angle iron underneath these two front bars to keep these bars from bouncing while we drive. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're going to bolt to this existing angle iron on this side, and that'll keep it here and keep it removable so that we can take the entirety of these off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to weld this angle iron to the bottom of this C channel on both sides. That way this is all one unit, it's super strong. And then the last thing we have to do on this side is we have to cut this off so we don't have just a piece of angle iron sticking out. Uh-oh, I just broke the bit. That's not good.
Now, Peyton, why are we having to modify the washer?
I drilled the hole wrong. It doesn't fit anymore. All right, let's see if that works. All right, the prep work is all done. We have the bolts added into this angle iron here, and Pops went ahead and cleaned all of the surfaces, so it should be good to weld. That's what we're gonna do next, and then we should be good. All right, we just finished up with the welding. We welded up these two sides, like I said before. But yeah, it was actually DB's first time seeing welding, being around welding. What do you think?
I mean, it was kind of fun to watch.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this little this insight into putting on these new tires onto the wheels and fixing a couple things. So let's kind of take an inventory of what we did. Sound good? So we went through and we installed the new tires onto our 1950s Harley wheels. And then on the driver's side wheel, we actually installed and fixed one of the spokes that were missing and broken. And then on the passenger side wheel, we fixed a dent in the rim that we showed a couple clips of just so it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, we also did some housekeeping here in the garage. On the trailer, we attached another bar in towards the front, welded it in place, so it should be make it a little bit more secure.
Oh yeah, totally more secure. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you really enjoyed it. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like down below. If you want to see more of what we do, go ahead and subscribe and see a couple more of our videos. And then if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment down below. As always, God bless and have a good one.